Welcome to the notes on perimeter and circumference. All right, today you guys are going to be able to learn how to find the perimeter and circumference of different shapes. So, perimeter, what is perimeter? Well, perimeter, that's just the distance around an object. All right, in this case, polygons or a circle. Now, what you have down here is a couple shapes. You got a square, rectangle. You have some formulas. I don't get too caught up on the formulas because it seems like one more thing to remember or forget. To find the perimeter of any object, all you need to know is just add up all sides. That's how you find the formula for any shape. You know, the rectangle's got 2L plus 2W, but it's really just adding up all those sides. Okay, so that's how you find the perimeter of any polynomial. Polygon. So that's that easy. All right, now circumference. What is circumference? Circumference is just simply the perimeter of a circle. All right, it's a fancy word for a circle because polygons have sides. Circle technically doesn't have a side, so they can't call it the perimeter because perimeters are sides. So they call it the circumference. All right, which is just the perimeter of a circle. Now there are two formulas here, but I like to think about it as, hey, the radius. Two radiuses equals the diameter. So when you see 2 times r here, that is just the diameter. Again, if I drew a radius here, all right, a radius is half the diameter. And when I draw all the way through, all right, then it just becomes the diameter. So this right here would be a radius, which is again half the diameter. So 2 radiuses equal a diameter. So I just like this formula right here. It's much simpler. Pi times diameter. All right, if you know the radius, double it, and that's the diameter. But pi times diameter, that's how you're going to find the circumference. All right, here's 2 quick examples. Determine the missing information. What is the circumference? Well, if the radius is 4, well, if I double that times 2, so that means the diameter equals 8. So then the formula is diameter times pi. So this is 8 pi. Now you see this exact here. All right. Again, I'm just plugging the formula pi times diameter. This E for exact means you can leave the pi there. You don't have to make it a decimal if you don't want to. If you want to make it decimal, just do 8 times pi button on your calculator. But exact means keep it in terms of pi. Another simple example here. They give you the circumference is 6.5 times diameter. Well, again, remember circumference is pi times diameter. Well, or diameter times pi. Well, there's pi. This must be the diameter, so it's 6.5. It's that easy. Okay, now let's get on to some, polygons. Determine the perimeter of the given shapes. Okay, pretty straightforward. All right, now this first one, we got some tick marks. So if that's 2, that's 2. Now I've got to find this distance right here. Well, if the distance is on top is 8, but I take away the 2, well, that means that this must be 6. And then when I look at this distance right here, this whole thing's 11, but I take away 2, that must make this one 9. So then to find the perimeter is add up all the sides. So I'll start over here with the 11. So I'll say 11 plus 8, all right, 19 plus 2, 21 plus 2 is 23 plus 9, 23 plus 9 is 32 plus 6 is 38. So this one would be 38 centimeters. Just add up all the sides. This one's a little bit more tricky. We're going to have to use some Pythagorean theorem. What you're going to do for this is we're going to create a line right here. Since this whole thing is 10, all right, and I draw it straight down, that means that this piece right here is 8. And we know that this height right here is 6. Well, to find this missing piece right here, I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem because I've got a right triangle here. So leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. So 6 squared plus 8 squared equals that unknown squared. That's 36 plus 64 equals x squared. That's 100 equals x squared. So I take the square root of 100. All right, and then so x equals 10. Now I'm not done. That just means that this value right here, we now know is 10. So to find the final answer, we just add up all the sides. So I'll start with the 6. So we're just going to say, I'll do it right below here, 6 plus 10 plus 10 plus 18. Now let's call this whole side. That's going to be our final answer. So 10 and 10 is 20, plus 18 is 38, plus 6 is we're going to give us 44. Now, last problem, probably the most challenging problem that you guys will see, definitely a test type question. It's half of a circle. So the first thing we got to know is circumference equals pi times diameter. So the circumference equals, our diameter is 8, so this is 8 pi. But that would be for a whole circle. We only want half. So I'm going to divide that by 2, and that's going to give me my 4 pi. 8 divided by 2 is 4 pi. So this whole distance in green is just 4 pi. But now I also have this plus 8 here, so my final answer then is 4 pi plus 8. You can keep it just like that as exact, or if you want to round, you type in your calculator, you should get approximately 20.57 centimeters. So there you have the lesson on that, is how you find the perimeter of polygons and the circumference of circles.